Hi everyone, in the previous video we created a custom EQS to find the best location for the enemy carrying the wand to move to for their projectile attack. In this video we'll be creating a state tree logic for that enemy. I will be using state tree delegate broadcasters and listeners, which are kind of like the state event dispatchers for state trees, and we'll also be creating a custom animation montage which will fire a particular projectile on a particular point. So let's jump in. Okay, so now we're going to create our wand enemy subtree. Now the great part is, so in our state tree we could essentially do it all here, but as you can already see it's becoming already a bit cluttered. So here we, instead of having this to be a state, I'm going to change it to a linked asset. So I'm going to create another state tree. It's going to be an AI component, and it's going to be st wand attack, and again AIC enemy BP enemy base. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to change this to a linked asset, and I'm going to change it to one. Oh, wrong one, sorry. This should be a state. I'm going to come to here and change the wand to a wand asset, because that's what it is. Okay, now in the previous part we created this EQS which will basically find us the right spot. So this is what's going to, I'm just going to put out the steps like I like to do first. So I'm going to do move to target. Then I'm going to have another state which is rotate to target. Then I'm going to have fire projectile, and then finally just a wait at the end. Now we're going to do these one by one, but move to target, we need to do two things. We need to run our EQS, and then we need to find the value and move to the EQS. Now you can do this all in one, but I like to have two tasks, one which simply runs the EQS and another one which is the move to part. So let's create them, and I'm going to create these simultaneously. So it's going to be blueprint base task stt move run EQS, and I'm going to just put into parts with delegate. This is just a name that I do to remember. And I'm also going to create another one which is blueprint is stt move to with delegate, and the with delegate part I will explain why I do that. Okay, so we got both of them here, and I'm just going to say this as well. So first of all, enter state, we override it. So we're going to get a run EQS query, not this one here, task. We want the query one. Yep. And the querier will be it'll be BP enemy base. And I'm going to name this enemy ref. And guess what? It's a context character. And so we'll put that here. Now the EQS, I don't want this, so you can take this in and make it into an input, which will basically bind it to something. And I've seen people do it with the weapons manager where they bind it there so that each the wand will have its own special EQS category. I'm just going to do it on expose on spawn because it's a very simple thing, and I don't think we need to going to the BPC Weapons Manager, create something for it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I think I want to give a bit of randomness, so I'm going to say top 5%, not the single best one. Now, this is an async task, so it means that it will take some time to finish. So we're going to bind event on query finished. Create event. Sorry, wrong one. Custom event, and I'm going to call this EQS finished. Now I'm going to switch on this. So on processing we don't do anything. We're going to do on success and failed. That's going to be our main one, and it's going to be get query results as locations, and we picked the top 5% of results, but we only need one of them, so we're going to do get random, oh, sorry, not get random, and I'm gonna do this the wrong way, and I'm gonna explain to you why it's not gonna work. So promote variable vector, EQS lock, and I'm going to change this to output. And then I'm going to create a state tree delegate. Now what a delegate is, it's honestly an events dispatcher for events dispatcher for state trees. Now there's two. You have a delegate dispatcher and a listener. So one dispatches the message, the other one listens for it. So I'm going to call this EQS dispatcher. The great thing is you don't have to have matching names as well, and it's not, you're binding it in a different way. So I'm going to call, and it's dispatch, or is it call, yeah, broadcast delegate. I always forget that. And then finally we're going to finish task and have it successful. Now there may be some times when this fails, so in that case I'm just going to come here and set it to not 000, because that just might be an error, but I'm going to call it -1 -1 -1, and I'm still going to broadcast the delegate just so it's clear. It's not holding off. But I'm going to say it failed. Now, so basically what's happening here is we get our EQS template, run it. When it's run, if it's, this is on wrong pins. If it's on failed, come here. If it's on success, then we get here. We get our results. We pick the top 5% of results, pick one from them, save it in the outputs, save it in a variable, and then broadcast it and then finish task. Now I'm also going to make this one an output as well and bind to it. So let's just add this to our task. So we have run EQS with delegate, open it up, so we have to give it, so we've got the enemy ref, that's great. I'm going to projectile lock, yeah, sorry, that other EQS is from just something I was checking out. And yeah, we got the vector here and we got a delegate here. So now let's create our move to event. So enter state. Now I'm going to create a variable called use delegate. If I can spell delegate. And this is going to be exposed on spawn. And I'm going to branch out. And then I'm going to create a delegate lister, so state tree. And this is going to be an input binding. And I was going to call it delegate listener. And it's going to be on bind delegate. Yep. Now I'm going to give myself some space here. So create a custom event which will be move to. So if it's true, we're going to bind there, but if it's false, we're just going to go straight to move to. So it will happen straight away. Now vector, we need a vector which will be EQS lock. I'm going to call it input. Yep, input. Okay, so we're going to do simply get our AI controller, AIC enemy, and it's going to be AI move to. So AIC enemy, and it's going to be a context, and get it AI move to. Sorry, I need the pawn, not the AI controller for the AIC. So duplicate, and I'm going to call it enemy ref and change it from enemy base. Yep. And oh, sorry, why is it EQS? It should be BP enemy base. Yep, that's fine. And this is gonna be our vector lock, and we're going to do on success finish task, and on fail finish task. Now I know what the issue is, so I'm just going to do print string, and I'm just going to put this EQS value here, and I'm going to make this one green, and this one here I'm going to make print string, make this one red, and okay, now we will come to these two events, but I'm just going to disable them for now, just so we can have it, and it's going to be on state completed. Go to the next selectable task, and the weight is just going to be on state completed, tree succeeded, and the task is going to be wait 1 second. Where's the delay task? There it is. Sorry. Wait 2 seconds. Now, so just to check the linked and everything works, let's go back to our game. Let's change this guy to have a, instead of sword, a wand now. And let's run our game. And I'm gonna press T. So he's going to run over, he's going to do our thing. He's gonna now pick up a wand. He's using smart tree. So we got the location and it's there. So can you see the mismatch? So he's getting the results, but the oh, sorry, I haven't added in the move to event. No wonder it's not seeing it. Sorry, that's on me. Move to with delegate. So first of all, the run with delegate is not going to be the closer. It's going to be this one here. We want to bind this to the STT run EQS delegate. So that's there. We're going to definitely use a delegate and our event dispatcher. So this delegate is listener is binding with this delegate dispatcher, and this EQS lock is binding with that lock, and we're definitely using delegate. Sorry about that, I forgot to do the second part. So now we're going to come here, press T, he's going to press it. Just going to get it. Using a smart object. Okay, can you see? So the X is what the saving, but the Y is what it's listening to. So 000 is what it's listening to, but it's dispatching. It's saving it as the vector values. Now, there's a very good reason for that, and the reason is, and even though this is listening onto delegate, this input is happening on almost like begin play, and on begin play the EQS value is 000, and this is such an annoying part of Unreal, and I'm not gonna lie, it has frustrated me a lot, and I can't tell you how annoying this problem is. And I spent hours and days on this problem, and if I'm being honest, the easiest way and the quickest and safest way to doing it is to not use the output and instead use it, do it by using the AI controller. So what do I mean by that? I'm going to get our AI controller. I'm going to create another variable here, call it EQS lock, and this is going to be a private variable with two functions: set EQS lock. And I know there's going to be people annoyed with this, but trust me, it's the quickest way to do this, the quickest, easiest way to do this. So come here and save it, and then I'm going to do another one, which is get EQS lock, and this is going to have an output. It's going to be EQS lock. And I do this for a list of variables, and I call these in my smart tree state tree vars. So I have a special category for them. Now we're going to come here, and I think you get the point now, but I'm just going to, I'm just going to delete it. So shift delete to keep it in, and I'm going to get rid of, well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do get, but I'm going to add another boolean, which will be use AIC var and it's gonna be, I can just give myself a bit more space. So we're gonna use the bar here, and if this is true, I'm going to basically have so if this is true, I'm going to get the AIC, get EQS lock, and I'm going to say I'm going to provide this to a variable and call it local EQS value, and this is because I just want a local reference, so it's easier there. And if it's not, then I'm going to get this input, and I'm going to make this one here the value. So now, regardless of which one happens, we can then move on to here, and we can take the local EQS value. And likewise, we're going to come here, we're going to get rid of this, and if I'm being honest, I'm going to get rid of the output EQS because there's no point having it in this delegate function. Where else is it used? Okay, yeah, so get rid of this here. Yeah, sorry, and I'm going to copy and paste this, duplicate this, and get AIC enemy, and we're going to change it to AIC enemy object ref get, and it's going to be get EQS lock. Oh, sorry, not get, set EQS lock. And then broadcast delegate there. I'm just going to duplicate this, so this is going to be our failsafe, and I'm going to say on abort it'll be, or you know, -1, -1, -1, so that it failed. And now I'm 99% sure this should work, and let's go back to wand. So yeah, we're going to use AIC value. So this is no longer binded to anything, and we did get rid of this, so it might just be out. So did we get rid of it? Sorry. Oh no, I'm just gonna get rid of the EQS lock now. We don't need it. What's the error here? So it's got it's not binding to anything. I may just need to. So sometimes I've noticed this, when you delete stuff from this data, you just have to, unfortunately, re-add it in, especially when you delete bindings. So add a move to with delegate. Use delegate, use AIC, and we're going to bind this to the EQS dispatcher. Oh, what's the... Oh, okay, this is the first time this has happened. So it's saying to me that I need to bind it to something, so I'm just going to bind it to get actor location, but we won't be using it, so, you know. Sometimes it doesn't normally do that, but it's doing it this time for some reason. But but yeah. But more importantly, let's come here. So T, run, get in, get the wand. Easy. Okay, yeah, so this is the locations. So I'm gonna run all the way over here now. Yep, so it's moving closer and closer to me, but still maintaining a distance. Now he should rotate to me, and we could add that in. And these are just basically projectile locations that he could hit from. Yep. Okay, I'm happy with that. So let's just add in, let's re-enable this one and go to task, rotate. I swear I created a rotate one. Rotate NPC, and this is going to be AI get controller, transition, state completed, next selectable state. And so now we're going to come on to the fire projectile pass. So let's enable the state. And before we do anything, because I know I'll forget, state completed, go to wait. Well, actually, go to next selectable state, which is wait. Now, there are two things that needs to happen here. I'm going to use another delegate as well. So the first is a play montage with delegate, and the other is fire the projectile. And I'm going to rename this to fire. So new state tree task. STT play montage. Enter state, we only need the enemy ref, so BP underscore enemy base context enemy ref, and we are going to do get skeletal get mesh. I don't know why you have to pick one and then get the mesh, but anyway, we're going to play montage. If I can spell play montage. Add it to the mesh. Now I'm going to, again, same principles, make this a expose on spawn. You could do a binding, but I'm not going to do that. Now the one thing I am going to have is a variable here. Sorry. So yeah, I'm going to do a switch on it, and going to do a montage begin play. And no default pin, but I'm going to do a broadcast. And you need to make sure this spelling exactly matches. Now, I have these animations here, and I'm basically going to use this animation here. So I'm going to create a montage of it. Montage is basically an animation with certain extra abilities, so I'm going to call it AM levitating fireball. Yeah, actually, to be fair, that's a good name. I'm just going to get rid of the montage part. Fireball. Now, we want to get the right moment, so I'm going to say yeah, so at this point, I'm going to add a montage notify, and this needs to be the exact spelling. So what I'm actually going to do is literally copy and paste. Now all of my state tree montages have this broadcast thing in them, so that I know that it basically plays it and then it does whatever it needs to. So on completed, I'm going to say finish task, and it's going to be successful. But on the broadcast, I'm going to create a state tree dispatcher. Call it montage dispatcher, and I'm gonna broadcast delegate. So this will call it on that place there. And let's just add this to the track. So task, play montage. Definitely want hour one. And yeah, this will be the finished track, but now we're going to create a fire montage. Fire projectile from it. So I have already got this water spell Niagara effect, which is looks like that. So I'm going to be using that, but you can use your own projectiles, and there are some free ones on Fabs, so if you wanted to, you can get it. I'm just going to create a new folder called projectiles. And I'm just going to call it BP actor BP projectile base, and this is all this is going to have. Is it's going to have a box for collision, and it will have a projectile component movement and a Niagara effect as well, which will be our particle effect. So yeah, and the projectile, the initial speed will be about 500. Do I want it to bounce? No. There's a collision setting. Sweep collision, yep, that's fine. Max speed also 1,000, let's say. So it will get fast. And actually, I don't want it to. I want it to just be 750. Gravity scale, I don't want gravity to affect it. I want it to go to 0. Should bounce, friction, anything else. Is homing projectile? No. Yep, I think this is right. Now I do want this one. So in this Niagara effect, so first of all, actually I'm not going to have this Niagara effect, because you should really have a projectile base, and then you should have a create blueprint chart, and I'm going to call it water. And I'm going to get this one here, and it's going to be now my water. And in this one, I need to change the velocity projectile to 0, simply because we want this projectile movement to be doing it, not this one here. That's why we need to add that in. Yeah, so there's nothing that needs to be done here. So I'm going to do now a new task state tree, STT spawn via projectile. First of all, I'm going to close some tabs because I've got a lot open. So we can close this one, close this one, close this for now. Close, close. Enemy can be open. Play montage, that's, yeah. Okay, so now they just have some space here. Enter state just before. Now I want to just see one thing, so I'm going to come to my BP1 weapons manager. We have a we have get current weapon name, destroy weapon, set weapon class. Now if you remember, in our long time ago, our weapon base has this end location, which is well, it should be, I need to make this up, the tip of the tip of the weapon mesh. So this is where it should spawn. So I'm going to say that I want that. So in the weapons manager, I'm going to create a new function, and I'm going to call it get weapon and lock. And this will be get current weapon, get and location, and we want this world location, and I'm just gonna add this on there, get rid of this one and call it end lock. No, weapon location. And yep. So now we can get our BP enemy base. And context, and we're going to get our BPC weapons manager, and we know this is going to be valid, so we don't need to check it because our context character is valid. We're going to get weapon and lock. Now, technically speaking, you could make this its own task. I'm not going to do that because I feel like that's a bit of an overkill. But yeah, if you really wanted, you can make this its own task and get it everywhere. I'm not going to do that. Then I'm going to have spawn actor from class. Now the spawn location is going to be a specific one. It's going to be here. And the spawn rotation transform, that's going to be, yeah, I'll look at that in a second, but it's going to be a BP projectile base. And I'm going to do the thing that I did previously before because I like that method, so I'm going to call it a projectile class and change it to BP projectile base class reference. Yeah. And this is going to be open on spawn. So let me just add it in so it to the state, so I know it does what it should do, or it looks like what I think it's going to look like. Spawn for, yep, and it has literally 2 in there, which is what I wanted. That's fine, perfect. Now the location, well, the rotation, it will be find look at rotation. And you know what, we don't need to get the whole AI ref for this, so I'm just gonna do an input, call it actor, attack, target, and it's gonna just be an actor, and I'm gonna change this to an input, and get actor location. Let's come here. Okay, so we're going to bind this to our AI controller's current attack target. So, and the reason why I did that is we could do the AI target and get it from there. And technically speaking, no, we needed the PPC as well. We couldn't just do the weapon mesh. So, yeah. Okay, I think that should work. We're forgetting our most important thing. Now, it's going to take a couple of seconds for it to hit, so I'm going to just delay 0.5 just to, because you can't tell it to hit. So, delay and then finish task. Now, I've also made another mistake. This is all on event begin play. Oh, no, don't freeze. Don't freeze. Yep. This is all on begin play. Now we want to do this on dispatcher. So first things first, use dispatcher. And sometimes there are points where you don't want to use a dispatcher. That's why I got it in there. So get and then I'm going to do a state tree listener, delegate listener, and I'm going to call this projectile listener. Bind event, bind to delegate, sorry. Custom event called spawn and fire, and this one will be spawn and fire. So that way we if we want to use it, great. If we don't want to use it, fine as well. So yep, spawn. Why? We haven't put it as an input. So let's make it an input. And we haven't put a dispatcher as an input as well, so on output. So montage, let's make this an output. Now let's come here. So yeah, we're gonna bind this one onto this one here. So yeah, when this comes out, it will bind and it will play the water one, and it will use dispatcher. And we don't, so here's the argument. Do you want to end this when the montage is finished, when he's played it, or when the projectile is finished? At launching, I'm going to say on montage finish is when I want to do it, but you can do it whichever way you want to do. Let's come here, let's go to T. He runs, he is going to pick up wand. Okay, sorry, that's just a problem with my Niagara. Okay, so I think I know what the problem is, and it's my Niagara. I changed it to 0, and it was actually supposed to be 1. Let me just get my projectile. Projectile. So I wanted it to follow it, but not, yeah. One thing I will say, the way it rotates, and I don't think we can do this right now, but it kind of rotated the really long way, which I do not like. But you've already seen the gimbal lock problems I've had, so rotation has not been on my side. So I'm gonna run here, he's gonna, yep, I get hit. I get hit. Oh, and he even runs up, that's nice. And yeah, that's what we wanted to do. I get hit. I just don't know. Yeah, so some of the rotation parts are a bit just, he rotates the wrong way, but so if I don't move, he definitely hits me. If I move at the right time, yeah, I can obviously dodge it, but that's, that's in every game, so that's what I wanted. Yep, quite happy with that, and congratulations, you have created a wanted enemy, and with the key setup done, the sword enemy should be much easier to complete. And remember, this is just my way of creating a state tree for a projectile enemy, not necessarily the right way. See you in the next one.